Hello, my name is Loxie Gant, and I am a volunteer with the Minority Humanitarian Foundation. Although Rapid Response Network has done a great job in responding to the crisis, there have been many other organizations not directly affiliated that have been helping out. I wanted to talk to you about the public health crisis and one of the issues that personally affected me and my family. Through Rapid Response contacted Mark Lane at Minority Humanitarian Foundation and said, we need your help with this one specific family. What they didn't tell us was that they had diagnosed a child in that family with chickenpox. They had released that family to Mark Lane and to our organization, and I agreed to take them into my home, unknowing that they had already been diagnosed inside of the response network. The problem with that, and we know that there's a lot in this, we're just hoping the benefit of the doubt that this fell through the cracks and this wasn't an intentional thing, but it directly affected me, my family, my daughter's preschool. We all had to go get inoculations. Everybody had to get their vaccines for shingles vaccine, even my daughter's grandparents. So it really kind of the ripple effects of that really do exist. And so we know that ICE released them, first of all, with knowing that the child potentially had an illness and handed them to Rapid Response. So it's sort of a triage of a problem that leads to more and more people potentially becoming affected by this health risk. So I just ask you, aside from finding a shelter and a permanent place for them to go, or temporary permanent place for them to go, really to get county health involved, everyone coming out of these detention facilities needs to be screened, treated, and we need to somehow do more to prevent the spread of the diseases or anything else, any other viruses that are coming across. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Claudia Gonzalez. I'm a registered nurse in the community, and I was actually a volunteer also at the shelter. Protecting the health and welfare of all in this region is your job as elected officials. When I heard asylum-seeking families were being left out in the streets, I did not hesitate to volunteer all of my time during the months of November and December of last year. I felt it was the least I could do, although for me it was a choice. For all of you, this is not a choice, but a responsibility and your moral obligation to protect immigrant families and prevent a public health crisis in the streets of San Diego. Most of the patients that I personally triaged while working at the shelter had some form of communicable diseases, such as colds, flu infections, infestations. Communicable diseases are caused by microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, parasites, and fungi, and can be spread directly or indirectly from one person to another. As a nurse, I understand that a simple cold will not kill anyone, but there are other conditions like chickenpox that, if left untreated, can cause serious life-threatening conditions and possible outbreaks. My concern as a nurse and as a citizen of San Diego is that these infectious diseases, if left untreated, can lead to greater problems for the general public. The solution, aggressive action must be taken to protect the health of both immigrant families and public health in general. The county must do their part to make sure this doesn't become a public health problem. Rather than wait for a public health crisis, we should address this issue proactively, and if there is something I have learned as a nurse, is that prevention is much cheaper than treatment. It is imperative that the county provide a viable long-term solution so that all the medical needs of these migrant families are addressed and any possible outbreaks can be stopped before these families reach their final destinations. If the county government fails in its critical responsibility to protect the health of these migrant families, you will have to answer to 3.3 million San Diegans for doing nothing to prevent a public health crisis, and not to mention the monetary cost of controlling and containing an outbreak. Thank you for your time and consideration.